Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Neil. Neil, Pirates win 3-2. What is up?
Not a whole lot. It was a fun, decent game to watch. Somehow more interesting than last night's game. I don't know why. Even though,
I don't know why.
yeah. Well, no, not because the Pirates win. I don't know. It was a lot more engaging tonight. Last night it was kind of like, oh, we're at 5-0, and then Oviedo was cooked. But tonight was fun.
Well, I mean, victories always lead to more fun and excitement after the game.
Yeah.
But like, of course, like yesterday, right? It was a quick lead, which was good. It was fun at that point in time, and then it not so quickly went away. But I mean, it went away. You don't want to blow those type of leads, you know. So it was like, maybe there's better things to do after the game now. But tonight, I felt like this game was entertaining because it was close. Because Bryce Harper got ejected and had one of the best ejections I think I've ever seen.
That was great.
And
completely justified too, man. Like that was a horrendous call, and I'm never going to complain. Like, you know, I think Hernandez was awful for us last night, and I didn't want to complain about it because the Pirates weren't very good either. But he's so bad.
Yes,
I don't know how you call it a swinging strike, but I'll take it.
Right. I'm with you. Again, it created great entertainment. I really enjoyed it. Bryce Harper was in the right there. Angel Hernandez is awful and was terrible. But what a moment. And honestly, without Bryce Harper, that helps the Pirates win this game probably. So all things were good.
Yeah. Bryce Harper is really good at baseball, and I wish he was on my team. So anytime you don't have to face him is pretty cool.
Correct. But anyways, let's kind of get into this game here. So as we mentioned, the Pirates did win 3-2. It was one of those games, and you know what? I tweeted this, and as soon as I tweeted, I mentioned, behind the scenes, I was like, okay, I saw the lineup come out. There's Palacios, there's Miguel Andujar, you got Bay still, he's playing second. There's also Alfonso Rivas, right? Luis Ortiz not looking the greatest this year. He's going to match up with Zach Wheeler. Pirates going to win this game, and they did. But that's not what you think when you see this lineup come out.
No, well, it's partially like, it's Jared Triolo, but also like the Phillies are really just in taper up for the playoffs mode. I think you can kind of really tell. The bottom of the lineup was and Castellanos is good, but then it goes Sosa, Cave, Pashy, which is a pretty gimme bottom three.
Yeah, right.
And, Wheeler only went 4 innings. Looks pretty darn good in those 4 innings. But, he gets pulled at 67 pitches. Clearly, they're just getting him rested for the playoffs. So I think we're going to be a benefactor of that. But the real fun is going to be the weekend where we have the Marlins fighting for their lives.
Yeah, this upcoming series is going to be fun in that aspect, right? Phillies locked it up the first game. So, yeah, like you said, they're kind of in cruise mode. The Cubs if you took the over on Bryce Harper, on Zach Wheeler's 5.5 strikeouts like I did, you're kind of disappointed to see him being taken out soon.
Why would you ever place bets on the last week of the season? You know better.
Right, listen, I saw the lineup come out today.
You know what?
I went right to the app and said over.
Fair.
Which he was on pace to easily do. But at any rate.
Could you imagine all the fantasy owners who own Zach Wheeler or Bryce Harper and are in their championship weeks?
To your point, what fantasy league is running their championship league in the last week of the season too? So there's same.
Yeah, only one league that I am but I'm eliminated, so I don't have to worry about it.
There you
go. Back to the game. No, it was a bad lineup. But, you got 5 hits from Palacios, Rivas, and Delay, and that'll play.
It's one of those things, like you said, it's a bad lineup. Like when you look at it, you believe so. But to be honest, Palacios has been playing better lately. We know his late game heroics, right? Miguel Andujar has been playing better lately. Alfonso Rivas is whatever. Now, he had a huge game earlier, right? He had his what, 5 RBIs and 3 hits not too long ago. He did
Yep.
have 2 hits today. So like he's come through, and that's something this team has shown, especially the second half, is they're gonna play. They're gonna give you everything they have. They fight and they're going to come through at times. And today was one of those games, But again, as we talk over and over again, Triolo just keeps doing it. So when you see Triolo in the lineup, it's a W.
Bet, I don't know if you can bet on like individual players' hits. I don't gamble, but I can imagine you're smashing the over on everything Jared Triolo right now. But no, I mean, like, it's 3 wins. It's a 3-game series where you lose by 2 runs twice, and you win the third one. So like that the series could have very easily gone to the Pirates if like a couple other things go our way. Yeah. And so like I guess one of the more encouraging, maybe intriguing things of this year is that we've played the Braves and the Phillies pretty darn well. Like we gave the Padres a real fight. We beat the crap out of the Padres. We gave the Dodgers a run for their money. Like against like the big boys of the NL, like we weren't terrible this year.
You are correct, though. You are correct. I hate hearing it put that way. Like we weren't terrible, yay! But at the same sense, like that is part of like the progress we're talking. Like the second half of this year, especially after the trade deadline, like you have seen this team, and again, it's been mainly not so much the rookies, but although Jared Triolo definitely is part of that, but like Reynolds coming through and playing, much better, and especially Brian Hayes coming through and playing much better. And Mitch Keller really putting it together then after he had that little stretch of like those 10 starts where he was pretty bad. But yeah, and then again, like this team not giving up. So right, when you stack them against the Braves, and even though they did only win 1 out of 3, it was actually a well-played series. We talked about it. I feel like series after series of like this team, they might have been racking up all the wins. They're still racking up more wins than I think you expect.
So, I don't like
saying good baseball.
Yeah, I don't like saying it like that, like not being terrible, but like you split the Phillies season series, you split the Braves. I think we either split the Dodgers or we took the season series from the Dodgers. We took 5 of 6 from the Padres. Like, I think Jim says like we were bad versus the Cubs and the Brewers, and pretty much everyone else, like it was pretty even footing, all things considered. I think if you go down the entire National League, and I like that. I'm a fan of when we look like a competent baseball team.
That's what you wanted out of this year. Like you wanted to see some competence, and that's what you're getting. And right, like today. Now, albeit some of the throws looked very incompetent today. I thought the Pirates were literally going to throw the game away.
Oh,
they only allowed 1 run on those. So yeah, like Nick Gonzalez just airmailed one into the stands, and then Jason DeLay shortly after threw it well over Triolo's head from stolen base, which ended up allowing Trey Turner to score. So yeah, like it was a 3-1 game, and some incompetencies like came through, but overall, like you said, like for the most part, what you're seeing right now is good baseball being played, and that's really what you needed to see this year, like at the bare minimum. So they are doing that. They are winning a good portion of their baseball games, recently against pretty like quality teams. Also, like you mentioned,
Yeah,
so
especially after having to suffer through May and June. Pirates baseball, where it was just terrible to watch. It was terrible to talk about.
Oh yeah,
it's been a nice, refreshing change of pace.
Yep,
and we're at 75 wins, which probably was the bare minimum what we needed to do this year. So,
but yeah, and let's talk to again. Luis Ortiz starts the game off, and we mentioned like he has been pitching too well. The results have been better, but like the eye test seems to be about the same. And today, I felt a little about the same there. Like the results ended up being pretty good. I mean, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. One of the hits, of course, being the solo shot to Schwarber very early on the game, opened the game that way, right? Schwarber, I guess opened the game, but the Phillies scoring it did in the first inning. And I mean, I thought the Wills like right away. I'm like, okay, here we go. Bad Luis Ortiz, but he did like he fought through. He pitched decently well. The Phillies are a team that's going to swing and miss, and he got his whiffs and he got his strikeouts per se. But it's his last start. It is what it is. Like it's just 96 miles an hour. I don't really get it.
He was hitting 97 fairly consistently tonight. I think the swings and misses are positive, and I don't think I'm ever going to hold it against a guy of his stature to be giving up home runs to Kyle Schwarber this year, because Kyle Schwarber is hitting nukes off of everyone. But he's not like. Besides that one Marlins start, you've never really had a Luis Ortiz outing where you're like, yes, I see it. Like, there's always some reservations.
Yep.
With a Luis Ortiz start, like you can see, like a lot of hard contact given up, and the Phillies are a good team. Like the Phillies are a darn good team, but no, it's been a problem all year. It's nice that his ERA is under 5 now. Like he has worked it down a bit. Like I feel like his ERA would balloon, but I think ever since like coming up, like it hasn't been great, but it hasn't been awful either. And I think it's because he's getting more swings and misses. He's playing the fastball slider combination a lot better. But the control at this point isn't even walking people tonight. It's just leaving pitches over the zone.
Yeah.
And that's the he needs to join Oviedo at Tread this winter. Spend all summer at Tread.
I want to know what the group discount package is at Tread, because like everyone just just send them on over all at once. Cut a good deal. Because I feel like there's quite a few that we could be talking. Also Quinn Priester. Also, let me just go down the list. But at any rate, like that is part of it. I'm pulling the numbers here actually, but like he has like the numbers have been better. I think he has looked better, but it was a very low bar to start with from his first time up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like he has looked better, but I think the best way to put it is like you mentioned, like there's still just more to be desired. Like you still want to see more from. I think you're expecting to see more from him, just based off of like what you know about Luis Ortiz, like the type of pitcher you hoped and expected to kind of see this year coming into the season. So like,
yeah,
again, like today was a positive start. I just really felt like at this point in time this season, you were hoping and expect like 2024. He's part of this rotation. He's part of this future. Like these are Luis Ortiz. And right now you're like, you have 2 pitchers going to next year. And after that.
Yeah. That was going to be my point. Like there's never a point in this year where you thought Luis Ortiz is a starter in the rotation when we're trying to compete next year.
Right.
And quite honestly, he's kind of without a roster spot next year. I don't know where you slot him in. Like, I don't think he'd be good enough for a bullpen role. Like, I think his control isn't good enough and he isn't throwing hard enough. But at the same time, like, I wouldn't even trust him as our 5th starter. Like, it is weird.
Right. There's gonna be a lot of battles for that 5th starter, but I don't know who number 3 and 4 is either.
Yeah, it's Bailey Falter. But no, that's where free agency comes in. But
right.
It really says something like the Pirates have to have good, solid pitching if they want to be good. And it's worrisome that none of the rookies have looked particularly interesting at all this year.
Right.
But he's probably looked that's surprising. He's probably looked the best out of the 3 rookie starters that we brought up and given significant time to.
Now, albeit, so I do have the numbers up here. This obviously just is good through or till today, right? Doesn't count today's. Why did an ad just come up? Now I don't have the numbers.
Ad block. Get some ad block on your computer.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, so since he came back up on August 23rd, his ERA actually is a 5.14. His FIP, though, a 4.47. And part of that was his first start debuting, which was against St. Louis. He gave up 5 and 3.1. But since then, 1 earned, 2 earned, 1 earned, 4, 3, and then today 1. So, like, since the first start of his recall, right, he's looked like the performance-wise has been better. And today, again, we'll add on to that. So, like, he at least finishes the season, like, on a stronger note, per se, right? You can build on that, I guess. There's still more you want to see from Luis Ortiz, but it has been better these past 6 starts, than what you've seen all year.
But still not great, that's the rough part. Like,
right.
So, hopefully, like, he comes back in spring training and is like a completely different guy. but until that control's there, he's just never going to be an MLB starter. Like Johan Oviedo can get away with an erratic fastball sometimes. Luis Ortiz can't. Because
Right.
his fastball is so much more erratic and it's so much worse.
But also, Oviedo has such really good secondary stuff.
Yeah.
Really good.
Oviedo has those intangibles. He's a winner.
He's also going to be a douchebag.
Yes. Yes, he is.
He's got that working for him also. Maybe Luis Ortiz needs to be a douchebag. That's the missing intangible.
But listen, I want more Bryce Harpers on our team.
Honestly, yeah.
I love Bryce Harper's douchebag attitude. I want that more. So if Johan Oviedo wants to be that, I'm all for it.
As long as it also comes with being a good player. Like,
yeah,
that's
I
what's
agree.
most important. Yeah. Don't be that and also be a terrible player.
Yeah, no one wants to be AJ Pierzynski.
There you go. But anyways, back to the game. But yeah, again, Luis Ortiz wraps it up, so he ends this year's season with a 4.78 ERA. Can we talk about Big Bank again? Who's just looked unreal since coming back from his IL stint. Like,
isn't it 15 scoreless?
No, that's Barucki.
Oh, sorry, I'm messing up our other slider spam pitcher.
Well, when you have an elite bullpen, yeah, that's spam sliders, right? It's easy to mix them up. But Moreta, oh my God, this is why I love this guy so much. Like, he needs to be a good player. Yeah, because I love all the antics. I love the attitude he brings. Like, especially as a bullpen guy. And today he does it again. 1.1 hitless, scoreless, one strikeout. Like, Moreta's just been great.
Yeah. So I messed up my Joe Block tweets. Sorry, I messed up my Joe Block stats. It's he's retired 16 of 17 batters faced since being called up.
Okay, that's fair. that sounds about right. But that's elite.
Yeah, great. that is so good. And yeah, his sliders looked unhittable, and like he there were points in this year where, like, when he wasn't sagging, he didn't look like he had that confidence on the mound. He looks like he has all the confidence in the world right now.
I've lost confidence because Moreta's taking it from me. It's like in Space Jam, like he's taking everyone's confidence and bottled up, and now it's his.
Moreta's secret stuff.
Yes, but for real, I mean, I love Dowry Moreta. I absolutely love him. And again, like, I can't say enough. I need him to be good, because it goes back to the comment about being a douchebag, right? Like, he can't be bad and having these antics, so he has to be good for those reasons. But those antics is why I love him so much.
Yeah, so it's fun. It makes the team a lot more fun, because, like, if you go back to the 2022 Pirates, like, they were bad and they were boring.
Yeah,
they did not like. I think, like, even the 21 team was more endearing because you had guys like Eric Gonzalez and Wilmer Defoe, who were objectively, like, terrible players, but they had, like, a little bit of spark and a little bit of fun with them. And Cabrian Hayes and Brian Reynolds love the guys, but they are not exciting personality guys. So we need that little bit of spark with Moreta.
But if you notice, right, like you mentioned, this year's team has brought in more of that.
Yes.
I never saw Brian Reynolds do the gritty before this year. So maybe they're bringing that a little bit out of Brian Reynolds. Like, if he's going to be like a secondary or third piece in that, that's fine. But allow him to be that. He's getting there.
We've seen Brian Reynolds smile more than once this year, and we're bringing it out of his shell.
There you go. Right. He smiled at least 3 times this year. But again, like, Dowry Moreta is like a big part of that. You know, I mean, like, this bullpen is getting some swag. Well, this whole team is, but, like, yeah, this bullpen is. And again, Moreta pitched well. And to follow up with, like you mentioned with Barucki came in and did King Barucki things, 0.2 innings, no hits, nothing. His ERA goes down to a 2.54. I mean, I take everything I said about him back. I mean, I thought this was the worthless, most clueless move. Like, why are you doing this? This guy's terrible. He's been terrible for the Cubs, who need pitching. And, like, he was terrible for the Cubs minor league. Like, I don't understand this. And, well, just spam the slider.
I was wrong about a different lefty guy from the Cubs who I hated when we signed. Like, so I'll eat it about Perdomo. You can eat it about Baraki. I think that we'll spread it together.
All right, that works.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've said this before, but one of the biggest reasons those playoff teams were so good was because of how locked down the bullpen was. Like, all you had to do was get 5 competent innings from a starter, and the game was over if you're winning. And I don't think we're close to that, but like when you get Baraki and Moretta pitching like this, and you add in Majinski and Bednar and a healthy Perdomo, like you are seeing a bullpen where like you've got a lot of options of guys that you don't hate to go to. And hopefully Kyle Nicholas figures out how to use his stuff in a right way, because then he can join that too. And you even Colin Holderman, as heart attack inducing as he is, like you are looking at a solid like 5 or 6 guys that you can roll into next year and feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you. That's one thing that this season has, I think, maybe been the biggest surprise. It has been the bullpen. I've been touting and firing up the bullpen engines, for like over a year now, because it's like the bullpen's one of the easiest things to make a team better. And I keep going to the Orioles. Let's keep looking at the Orioles, right? Like, how were they successful last year? A lot of it was the bullpen. Now, of course, they have a lot of talents, right? But like they put together a bullpen via nothing. A lot of waiver claims, a lot of low trades, whatever. Like these weren't talented, like high leverage, high value pieces, right? Like they just kind of pulled together. They were the Barakis of the world, right? The Morettas of the world. That's how the Orioles were able to do it. And like that's what this team, if they want to be competitive for 2024, they're going to have to find that. And I think as we're ending this season, right, today kind of shows it. Moretta, Baraki, Majinski, and then Bednar. You are seeing a bullpen form. We can talk and debate, and that's what the offseason is going to be all about, right? How good it can be or will be. But you are actually seeing pieces that, like you mentioned, like you're not afraid to go to. So, like that's a big win right now, And again, today was a big part of it. Moretta came in scoreless. Baraki came in scoreless. Now, Majinski did have the one run, but again, we can talk like that was delay. That was some bad defense there, right?
Giving up a hit to a really, really good player, like Trey Turner is really good. So no issues for Majinski. Yeah,
right.
But like, I think at this point I would probably want to switch Majinski and Holderman, put Majinski in the 8th and put Holderman in the 7th, just because I think Holderman can kind of get the lights can be a little too bright for him. But no, like having a 7 through 9 bullpen piece that you feel good about. I mean, man, remember what was it like? Watson, Melanson. I forget who our 7th inning guy was.
Well, every time I'm put on the spot, I always forget things. But it was, Watson, Melanson, and then you had. Damn it! See,
we had Vin Mazzaro. Jared Hughes. I think in 2013 or 8th, I think I was Vin Mazzaro.
Mazzaro was a good one too.
Yeah, so
but that was also like, let's talk about that, right? Like, if you're talking about the Form 1s, that's what Neil Huntington was able to do. He was able to piece together a formidable bullpen, which was basically filled with like cast-offs, right, or undervalued guys and trades or whatever, and that's what you got. So, Wilson too.
Yeah, Justin Wilson
for Cervelli.
So you had Melanson, Watson, Wilson, Mazzaro, and Grilli in 2013. All those guys had ERAs below 3. All gave you pretty much 70 innings. Like, those are bulk guys that you can depend on. And if you're going to win without spending money, especially on starting pitching, you need to nail the bullpen to come carry you and win some games that you wouldn't normally win. Exactly. It's a fact of life.
Kind of emulates like tonight's game. That's why I kind of brought up that sense. Like Ortiz only goes 5 innings, but the bullpen's able to pick it up and carry the rest of the way. And honestly, again, like with those guys, with Moretta, Baraki, Majinski, and Bednar, you feel pretty comfortable right now. I'm not going to say elite till back like 2013, but like not one of those players was put into this game and you felt like, all right, they're gonna blow this lead. They're all confident players. Again,
the craziest thing is that, like, I never would have guessed that the person I was most worried about was Bednar. If I was being completely honest, like Bednar has been like really shaky as of late. I'm like, all right, 1 run lead with Bednar. This is going to be a trip.
Yeah, well, let's then get to that. So yeah, it was a 3-2 game. Bednar comes in right away, full count. Castellano walks, and yeah, all those feelings you mentioned. That's what I think everyone in Pirates Twitter was feeling right at that point. Yeah. He has been shaky lately, and I don't know how to make of it. Like, I look at it as a positive. He finds every single way to get out of it.
Yeah.
And it's been tested like time and time again. It's almost like the Josh Palacios things. And I mean that as in, like, he keeps doing it. So I kind of have faith that, like, it's a skill. Like, he just does it, right? Like, Josh Palacios just comes through when they're down and wins the games, right? And like with David Bednar, it's just like, even if he struggles, I feel like we just have to be confident and comfortable that he's going to find a way to get out of it because he just does it.
Yeah. No, he does. And like, he always makes it, at least recently, I think at the beginning of the year, like in like the first couple months, like when he came in, no one was getting on base. There was no chance. Now, as the year's gone on, I think, there's definitely been like, he gets people on and he's blown a couple saves, but I mean, no, he gets it done. And I'm never going to blame him for something to happen where he has to come into the 10th and give up a single and then he loses the game. So,
right.
No, he was really good after Castellanos. Like, none of the other, I think it was Cave, Pesci, and Sosa, none of them even looked like they had a shot at hitting him.
Yep.
So that was great.
Yep. He went right to shutdown mode. So he made it interesting right away, but then he took care of business. Pirates win their 75th. He gets his 37th? I want to say 38th, but yeah, 38 save.
All right.
So David Bednar and his ERA down to 2.04 right now. Shut it down. But yeah, again, like I thought today, the pitching was the big part. Again, Luis Ortiz started off, pitched effectively, right? Got them through it. And then the bullpen came in and just did their thing. But let's get back to the offensive side because I think that's something to definitely talk about. We talked about Triolo. As you said before the show, there's nothing more we can talk about Triolo. We talk about it every single day, sometimes twice a day.
Yes.
So I guess we won't spend too much time on him, but he does go 2 for 5 again today. His OPS up to a 795. He's just doing dumb, stupid, amazing things. But I want to get to another person.
He's going to finish with 2 WAR this season in like 60 games. That's all I'll say. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, well, genuinely ridiculous.
And after her second at bat, he had the highest OPS on the team. Just to put out there too. Now, obviously, it's not, but like it's still up there. It's a 795, Reynolds 797, and Slawinski 798. So like he's up there with the big boys for a glove first player. But we'll move on. Yes. I do want to spend a little bit of time on Jack Slawinski, and we don't have a whole lot of time, but I do want to talk about him because he has just looked so much better. But I think a lot of it is because he looks different.
Yes.
And tonight he goes 2 more hits, gets into RBI because, yes, Jack puts the ball in play these days and scores guys from first instead of walking to first and doing nothing with it. So
he swung on the first pitch today and got a single. It was the most beautiful single I've ever seen.
It's like the whole world just saw this. Like, why don't you just swing the bat? And now he's finally doing it, and here we go.
I mean, I just can't believe it took him this long to think, I destroy baseballs when they're in the zone. What if I started swinging at those? Like, I want to know like what was happening between Andy Haynes and Jack Slawinski talking about hitting and how it took him this long to come to this conclusion. Because like, it's kind of frustrating. We could have had like an amazing Jack Slawinski all year, but instead we're getting a nice resurgence at the end of the year. But it's great.
Yeah. And it's like another one of those things that's like, okay, it happens so late in the season that like you can't just assume and expect it to carry over next year. But if Brian Hayes has turned around and become like a good hitter now, right? Brian Reynolds is Brian Reynolds. If Jack's maybe starting to figure out like if I swing the baseball bat, and hit the baseball, maybe I could be a good baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, like there's reasons to be hopeful and
Because
in
it's not even
perspective optimistic about next year and
it's,
such.
like,
But like
it's not even just like maybe like, oh, it's a hot streak, because like you can tangibly see what he's doing different. His stance is different. His approach at the plate is way different. Like and it's paying off in dividends with skills that we kind of already knew that he had. Like we know he doesn't chase pitches out of the zone. We know he has a great eye. We know he has power. But now fixing the hit tool is the biggest hole in his repertoire. So I mean, and if he hits like this, like his defense isn't great in center field, but if you have like 120 WRC plus center fielder, that plays.
it
That
does.
plays a lot.
That's the whole that was the whole talk about Brian Reynolds. That's why he was so valuable when you're talking about trade returns for him.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter if he's like a great center fielder. You can hit, and that's for a center fielder, especially that plays. Then like I'm not saying Sawinski turning into like the Brian Reynolds, but like he doesn't have to have good defense to that degree if he's going to be like this type of hitter. Like this is valuable, and this will lead you to be more consistent because you're swinging a damn baseball bat. If you're putting the ball in play, you will create runs more often than not.
And he's not striking. I don't feel like he's striking out as much because he doesn't go down 0-2 every single at bat.
As a matter of fact, he had 0 strikeouts tonight.
It's incredible how baseball works.
You just did the mind blown sign.
It's almost as if the goal of the batter is to hit the baseball. Like,
yeah,
we're getting down to such fundamentals here. Like
when this game was created 200 years ago, and the guy was like, "I'm gonna throw this ball and you hit it." Like that was the very base. That's the core of the game. And Jack was like, "I'm not gonna do that part. I'm gonna do all the other things instead."
It just.
But anyways, Jack has looked really, really good lately, and it leaves me very encouraged. And again tonight, like I'm not gonna say he's a big part of the win, but yeah, like he put a ball in play. Was it Triolo that was on second, or not Triolo? Obviously, was it Reynolds on second?
I believe so. Yeah,
Reynolds was on second base, and he was able to score because Jack Sawinski hit the ball. It was in between like second and center, able to drive in Reynolds.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing more and more of that. And I think that now I could be wrong, but I think that now makes it 15 RBIs in this month, if not definitely more. Because last time I looked, it was 14. But like he's driving in runs, he's making contact, driving in runs, he's producing runs for this team.
Yeah, he learned situational hitting. If it takes a couple ticks off his F4, I'm okay. I'm really okay. Yeah, but I mean, I think also something that lost is that like we scored 3 runs, but we had 11 hits and we hit the ball consistently hard all night. Like I genuinely think like we were unlucky tonight to only walk away with 3 runs, even if it didn't seem like it in the later innings. Like, but you're right, it is 15 RBIs for Sawinski in 21 games. 21 games started.
You know what's funny about that? So you're talking about the hits. The Pirates tonight had 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. You know who didn't strike out tonight? The only Pirates, Miguel Andujar and Jack Sawinski.
Baseball is such a stupid sport.
It's so dumb.
I love it, but it's so stupid.
There you have it. Ryan Reynolds strikes out twice. Jared Triolo strikes out twice. No strikeouts. Jack Sawinski, Miguel Andujar.
Yeah, of course, as everyone predicted. I mean, Miguel Andujar kind of looked awful tonight too, but he's also Miguel Andujar, so I'm not surprised. But I mean, Palacios got 2 hits, Rivas got 2 hits, Delay got a hit and a walk. Bay got a hit. I mean, he wasn't great tonight either, but only one guy didn't get a hit today. And that was Nick Gonzalez, who...
Well, Andujar didn't either.
Oh, and
yeah, Nick Gonzalez also didn't. And I know it's just a couple games since being recalled, but
he's looked awful. Yeah. He does not look comfortable at the plate in any sense of the word.
I don't look at this and say, you know what? He is performing in AAA and it's carrying over. I look at this and see more of what his issues were his last time here. And again, just a couple games. I'm not going to say that it's done. There's only a couple more games left, obviously, in the season anyways, but this isn't really what you wanted to see in him coming back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nope, he's been bad. He airmailed like, at least when he was up first, his defense was good. Like his defense was really good, and then now he's airmailing balls into the stands. I think
you don't want to see that either.
I could be wrong because it looks like he's just trying way too hard. Like he's pressing everything at the plate. It looks like he's trying to do too much in the field. Like that throw, he's trying to do too much. Like I could be completely wrong, but it literally looks like he's trying to prove himself in these last couple days.
Yeah, I'm not going to go all psychologist mode on that. He could, he could not. But what I'll say is, I could see it. Like when there's only a finite amount of games left, and you're here, like you probably want to make some type of statement for you in the season. So you're probably maybe trying to do some things. So I could see if that being the case. You know, that's not too far fetched.
Yeah,
so what happens when you get called up when there's 6 games left of the year.
Yeah, I'm not trying to psychoanalyze him. That is just what I've noticed from him, like how he's playing.
Yeah,
but again, I don't want to. I'm not going to put that as gospel because I definitely do not know what's going on in the dugout.
No, you do, and that's the name of the show. You're renaming it. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and wrap this up here. But yeah, Pirates do win 3-2. They are now 75 and 84. 3 more games of this season, Neil. This is your last post game, correct?
It is my last post game. It's been fun.
So
it's been a blast.
There it is for you. There's 3 games left. They're all at home against the Marlins. As you mentioned to come start the show, Marlins are in a fight. So still pretty important series for the Marlins. It should be a good series for a competition.
So are you telling me that you would not take getting swept by the Marlins right now if it meant the Cubs missed the playoffs?
Nope.
All right.
See, I don't care enough about that. I don't, and it could just be me, and maybe because I don't in baseball. Like if it was football, like I have a pure hatred for the Patriots, and it's more because my brother's like a Patriots fan. So maybe I'll like spite my nose to, whatever that stupid saying.
I hate the Cubs.
Bite my face, bite my nose, to spite my face. There it is.
So I want us to pitch Quinn Priester every day, and I want us to play Nick Gonzalez and Miguel Andujar every day down the stretch.
See, I don't care enough. Like whatever the Cubs do, whatever the Reds do, like that's them. That's good for them. Whatever. Okay. The focus of the Pirates should be the 5 Pirates, and I want to see 3 more games of we're going to act like this is our playoffs, quotes Joshua Palacios, and I want to see that for these last 3 games. I know there's nothing to play for, but show me something.
Let me put it this way. I will never be upset that the Pirates win baseball games. I would never get like, oh, I want but I would not be upset either if we just, let the Marlins win these last 3 games.
Right.
I don't know. I maybe I need to get up. Maybe it's petty, but I don't want.
And I love pettiness.
I don't want the Cubs to have any happiness.
I will be petty white all day long, but I want to see the Pirates win. Screw whatever the Cubs happen to them. Whatever. You know what? If they win, they earned it and they deserved it, and they had a better offseason and they got more talent and do something. Ben Cherington.
Nah, screw that.
They're already in the playoffs.
Screw the Cubs.
How about that? On Doug saying you sound like GMBC, we will.
All right, I need to retire. This is my last post. If that's what I'm getting compared to, I need to leave.
We're done. Everyone, thank you, of course, for watching this. We'll be back tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.